Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, Sports City. We are back in the building, or better yet, we are taking things outside as we are in the month of December. November has come to a close. We are here now at the anniversary mode of Sports City, and might as well call it the birthday situation for myself. So we got this thing kicked off. The calling number is 929-477-2759 as we get ready to open the lid on this grill. But Sports City, I am not going to lie. I am in a very somber mode right now. I lost a childhood coach that I won a championship with, and he's actually a figure in my hometown. And I also lost a childhood friend that I went to war with every Friday or Saturday, especially in my senior year in high school. So I want to give a moment of silence to Mr. Fred Foderman and Tyrone Aaron Jr. Rest in peace to two of you. I'm trying not to lose my mind, but I'm going to give you guys a moment of silence. All right, Sports City, so I'm going to get into the show as best as I can. I got my co-host with me, the Villain, a.k.a. Barry Jordan. Welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
Heavy heart, man. I heard about Little Ty, man, and oh, God, man. Tattoo tears and closed caskets, man. That's all we can do, but we're just going to keep fighting on, man. Other than that, man, how you, brother?
I'm holding on, man. Like, and this is the bad part about everything. Like, I'm gonna save the. I can't even say like save the best for last because they both are great people in my life, right? But I'll start with Mr. Foderman. I'll go with the guy that probably one of the biggest figures in Stanford. Now, Mr. Foderman, people don't know. A lot of people ain't from Stanford. But he's a bail bondsman out here. He owns his own bail bondsman company. And I grew up with both of his sons. One of his sons we're the same age, but he graduated a year after me. And his other son is 2 years younger than me, both of which we grew up together in the same neighborhood of, the East Side area, Glenbrook. I played baseball with both of them. The first time I met James was the first baseball team I played with him, and we won a championship that year. And, I thought I could pitch and I could play the infield, and he told me to play the outfield for the game, and this was the championship game. And, it was the Little League's bottom of the sixth, and the guys on second, they hit a shot to me, and it's rolling up the line. I dove and picked up the ball and just threw it home because the guy was about to score, threw it, and the kid was out. I made the game-winning throw, and we won the championship, and Mr. Foreman was like, see, I put you out there on purpose. I will never forget that. I will never forget that. And knowing anywhere else in the world, like he will remind me in front of anybody. And he's a big figure in Stanford. He could be in front of the mayor. He could be in front of his family. Mr. Foderman and be like, "This is my guy. Like, don't ever touch Ty. Like, no." So I would go crazy every time I would like see Mr. Foderman. You don't even know. Like one time I went to a restaurant and I'm out with like 4 people. Mr. Foderman seen me. He said, "What?" He said, "You in here?" He started smiling. I'm like, yeah, instead of him like treating me like a regular male, or he treated me like the son, bear hugged me, then put me in a headlock, like damn near noogie me. And the next thing you know, he said, whatever their meal is, all 4 of them, just put it on my tab. And I'm looking at him like, this guy's unreal. Like, and knowing that he wouldn't do, he probably would do that for other people. I'm not gonna just say it was just slotted to me, but just knowing how dynamic this guy was to me, and the thing that I can remember right now off the top of my head that he would do for me, in light of both of his sons would treat me like brothers anyway. So, James and Phil, like my heart is with y'all, and I lost my pops 10 years ago.
Yeah.
How many days, like 30-something days ago, 10 years ago. So I know how it feels to try to rebuild yourself back up. And Ty, like this is the crazy part. I had to find out in the worst ways ever today. I had to find out the worst way ever. This girl texted me and said, "Ty, thank God you answered." And I'm like, thank God I answered. Why? What happened? Like, I didn't know what was going on. She said, everybody in Stanford, Tyrone died. And I'm like, damn. Like, and now I'm scrambling through my head because it's like, it's Stanford, and it's somebody with my name, and I'm trying to figure out which one, because let alone in Stanford, there's 3 other Tyrone Powell. There's 4 of us all together in the city. So I'm like, okay. Now, is it one of them, or is it another Tyrone? Because there's a ton of Tyrones in Then I seen, rest in peace, Tyrone Aaron Jr. When his little brother Will put it up, I'm like, yo, this cannot be real. Like, oh my God!
Life,
and the thing, it was within 24 hours, man. Within 24 hours, just watching this just back to back, and knowing it's going into holiday time, and family, and watching people be distant after some of the glue leaves the knit. So it's I'm done. Like it happened to me when I lost my pops. It was before Thanksgiving, but in 2010 that had to have been the worst Thanksgiving I've ever been a part of in my life. Like we just sat at a dining room table with food in front of us. Nobody really. Like we tried, but it was like with him not being there, it was like, man, like nah. So I get it, and let alone here go the icing on the cake for the Foderman family. It was James's birthday, so Mr. Foderman died on his son's birthday. So it's like, man, I don't even know what to say to James right now. Like his birthday could be forever like messed up, or if he could turn it into a positive light. Like I just don't know, man. But I'm sorry that I'm going off on a tangent because this is my childhood. Ever since I was 9 years old until I was like 18 and leaving high school, and still even after that I kept in cahoots with both of them. So I mean, anything that you like to add before we start diving into stuff and throwing it on the grill?
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people listening to the show have no idea what we're talking about, but I mean, if you ever lost a loved one, you know what we're dealing with. I was out with my wife and Reese Lane, and he was trying to flag me down. He was following me, and I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. What he's doing. We finally get to where we're going. He's like, "Yo, I was trying to flag you. Little Ty died." And my heart dropped. It's we call him Little Ty because you was Big Ty. You know what I'm saying, brother? So
right. You already know how that goes, man. Like I'm messed up.
You know what I mean? Like,
come on, man.
That's our little brother. Like, I mean, he was a year younger than us, and he used to, him and the boys used to come to my house and during school. And don't tell my dad. And play video games, cut class and come over, play video games, make lunch or whatever, just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my little brother, man. And like, honestly, the year after we graduated, we came back for homecoming, and they won the city championship and came on the field, and I, talking to the boys, and he came up to me, gave me a big hug. He's like, "Yo, this one's for you, man. You guys deserve this." And I'm like, I had tears in my eyes, like, try not to cry, but I was like, yeah, man.
I know, man. I know, man. Look, and just like you said, how the memories that we got, and I remember that homecoming because it was all of us right there by the locker room. We sat right there by the locker room. They won it. They beat the hill and came to us, like, and it's just like, watching this day, like losing two people that close to me within a 24-hour span, and just like the Ty situation, the way I had to find out was a girl that knew him or knew somebody that knew him said that Tyrone died, and I'm like, wow, would somebody play like that? And I'm like, okay, so let me find out what's going on. And then once I seen it was Lil Ty, I'm like, man, I don't know what to do, man. And knowing that we were so close, and I was Big Ty, he was Little Ty. My birthday was in December, his birthday in January. Like, it was too much attached to him. Like, I got it's a swirl.
It's a part, so it's like, man, yeah, man.
I can just shout out to Mrs. Hall, Miss Gloria Hall.
Exactly.
I love you. Like, every day after practice, she'd be like, Ty, first off, if you need a ride home, I'll get you home. I'm like, everybody on the team want to take me home. So I ain't worried about a ride. Then she like, if you need something to eat, I got dinner for us, and she would make soul food galore. So it's like, yo, I got to stay away from this lady because she'll have us laid out somewhere. So I'm like, yeah, I come. Like just let me know when you whipping something up, man. But it's like once I see her, this time is going to be like, a tough moment. So I got to try and keep everything together as best as possible, man. But, it's a bad time. And just to be ravaged of this year, 2020, and losing 2 people within a 24-hour span. Man, I just don't. I'm at a loss of words, Sports City, but I'm gonna do what I can right now because I feel like me and Barry could go down memory lane all day long, especially in that 99 year, going into 2000 when they graduated. We graduated in 99, and just a ton of memories, man. And I don't know, man, but I'm rattled, man. I can't lie. All right, so
I know. But yeah, I mean, TP. I mean, you gotta, you gotta give ourselves roses while we're alive. We can't wait till we go. But I mean, I don't want to move on, but we can't. We could do this all day. But crazy day, man. Crazy day in sports, brother.
Right. Well, yeah. Speaking of which, in the sport world, man. Okay, so. I don't even know where to begin. Like whether, and I got an interesting one in the NFL. So let me get the NFL out the way first and foremost.
Okay.
The Pittsburgh Steelers take care of business up against a division rival with the Baltimore Ravens, in which the Baltimore Ravens made it a game, and they played this game without Lamar Jackson, Dobbins, Ingram. Mark Ingram II was out. Even the talented tight end I want to say slash receiver, Mark Andrews was out. So they basically were without every weapon that they had on the offensive side of the ball. It still made this interesting enough. Here goes the crazy part. They had RG3 start the game. RG3 was benched. And then they put in Shorley, the quarterback from Penn State, who actually had a touchdown pass late in the game to cut this to 5. But the Steelers did just enough to, ice the game and get that last-second first down and basically drench the clock out. This is the first football team since 2015, since the Panthers went 11-0. I have an interesting standpoint to Ben Roethlisberger as well, and I'm not going to lie, even though when Sirius come here, me and him go at it, but I'm a big fan of Big Ben. I have something I want to twist or tweak into Big Ben. But your thoughts about the game that took place with the Steelers winning this matchup 19-14. We do have a caller in queue also.
Okay, I'll be clear. I mean, it was ugly. There ain't nothing to talk about. It was ugly. The Ravens got punished for having this outbreak and having to play this game. I'd rather talk about the repercussions around, this game, the Denver game in general. But there's nothing much to talk about. Ben didn't look particularly great, but they did what they had to do in the end, like you said, throwing that touchdown pass to Juju in the corner. Basically the defense came up big with some interceptions. RG3 looked terrible with the fumble too on a handoff. Like they did what they had to do to win the game, move to 11-0, and fight another week. I think they play Tuesday? So the Ravens play Tuesday. I'm not sure when the Steelers. I think it's Monday. Honestly, I'm not really sure. But, they did what they had to do to win the game. Are they the best team in football on paper? Well, record-wise, yes. I don't know if they can handle those boys in Kansas City. It'll be a fun game. But, I think the Ravens, defensively, I think they did a good job. I think they had no offense to go with it. So, but, it's another loss in another – falling behind in the division and, falling basically out of the playoff hunt if they, keep on this pace. So that's basically it. That's all I got on this one. It isn't pretty.
Okay, and the funny part about everything about this game is, and I'm going to continue to say it, but that plane has flown on me for me to say what I'm about to say. First and foremost, I want to say this in reference to my cousin, my little cousin. He was a D1 football player, and he went to a D1 school, and he went to University of New Hampshire. And when he got there, he knew and felt that he was better than the corner that was playing. He basically left school because they wouldn't give him a shot. I'm like, the guy is a senior. He waited his time to get that spot. Let him get his due, right? People, if you are in a situation where you're sitting behind somebody, your time will come. Be patient because they need you. They need you as a second string. They need you as a third string. Be patient. Now more than ever, with the athlete getting bigger, stronger, faster, people are getting injured at an enormous clip. We can never predict that situation, but Now you got backups that aren't ready to get in the game. You got RG3 that has not played a game in so long. He got in the game and looked completely horrible. And this is why I'm saying I'm going to say this. It's like Colin Kaepernick won't get another try. I don't think he'll ever play football again, but I think he has better mechanics and could do things on the field and could just, need reflect into situations to pick up first downs than other quarterbacks that are in this league, and they won't go back to him. So with that being said, if you are able to go out there and give it a go, then go do what you're doing. But other than that, I just really don't know what to say about these guys that they're throwing in there and can't contribute to a game. So calling in by way of the state of Colorado, we have Eric Gross in the building. Eric, welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm feeling great. Happy to be here at the Cookout tonight. So kind of hearing what you guys are touching on. I just want to get into the Ravens, even with Lamar Jackson this year, have been really inconsistent. So, it's a shame, but just like Barry just said, this team's in the risk of even falling out of playoff hunt. So we'll have to see. And I like what you just said, Ty, for all those kids out there. Definitely keep going. You get these guys like Nick Mullins coming in, and they're actually contributing to their teams. So you want guys that contribute. RG3 was, supposed to be a megastar in this league for years to come, and, he blew himself out, and like you just said, he got in and looked totally confused today. So, but the Ravens did what they did, or the Steelers did what they did, as all great teams do. They found a way to win. They dominated defensively, and they're still undefeated. So it's going to be a great game to see them and the Chiefs go head-to-head.
Okay, and listen, I'm getting screamed at to let people in. Like, they texted me saying, get me in here, calling my way in the state of Georgia. We got Nas in the building. Nas, welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
I'm good, man. I've started up a conspiracy theory online. I'm going to see if it catches fire. I'll let you know later. What's going on, brother?
Okay. Believe me, I'm all for it. I'm listening like crazy. Especially, I wanted to toss this up, and of course, this dude calls in at the time I'm ready to throw this one up, and I wanted to kind of toss Ben in that pot with the big names as in NFL quarterback legacy, and it's more or less like the Peyton Mannings, a lot of the guys that got their 2 Super Bowls, maybe even 3, and I'm like, what if it was a situation where Big Ben was to help carry the Steelers team to a Super Bowl? Does he catapult Peyton Manning? Is he in the talks of a Troy Aikman? How do you look at Ben Roethlisberger, which made it very interesting? I wanted to mix one up, and we do got Barry back in here also, so I wanted Barry to contribute too. But before Barry does come in, he calls in at the same time I start talking this bull crap. We got Aaron Simmons in the building. Welcome to the Cookout. How are you feeling this evening?
You know what, gentlemen? Normally I would come in here cheesy and funny. Not today. What's going on, gentlemen?
Nothing much, man. You squeaked out one up against the second and third string quarterbacks in Baltimore. I know that.
And it's like, what? Just like Sirius, like he never comes when you want him to, but he's right on time when you're talking that Steelers talk, right?
Listen, knowing him, he was listening from a distance, and once we started like calming the talk down, he said, "All right, press the button, get me in there." Like he knows exactly what he's doing. He called a lot of the times when I start like trying to get into the sweet side of trying to talk something about Ben or something about Coach Tomlin. Because if I'm going off, he here he go. He start, oh, here we go. You want to talk this junk, this, that, and the third? It's like whatever. So. With you guys tweaking this one.
Before we let the biased Steeler fan answer this, I think you need to let the other panel members answer this one, man, because Sirius cannot be trusted on that question. But let's say this. Y'all gave a great comparison because you brought up the name of Troy Aikman. I think Big Ben is in that tier of quarterbacks. He played in an era where his organization ran it well. He played with well-stocked talent. When he first came in, he was actually a game manager, and later on he became more of a gunslinger, tough guy type, hang in the pocket, take all those hits. So Ben, to me, is a Hall of Famer, but no, I wouldn't compare him to Peyton Manning and some of those other prolific guys. I think he's in that Aikman category where he hasn't necessarily driven the car for most of his Super Bowls. But he did drive it for one. So, you gotta salute him for that. Made a lot of plays, great player, much respected. and this year would just be icing on the top. I mean, cherry on the top of the sundae, but it ain't moving him past the Favres and Peyton Mannings and Joe Montanas of the world. He's still, to me, in that second tier of guys. No disrespect.
Wait, so why wouldn't you give him the leg up over Peyton or Favre? Like, I'm giving him the heads up over Favre. What has Favre done that he hasn't?
You want to answer that, Naj, or can I chime in?
I know. Well, Favre's won a lot more with a lot less. Favre is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. Ben is somewhere on that list, but it's nowhere near as high as Favre is. And I know a lot of us got bad memories of the Favre interceptions to end seasons, but that's not the total story of Brett Favre. And we kind of do a disservice to that dude, man. Like, his career, like the way it's being looked at now, people have no idea how good that dude was and how much of the NFL actually adapted to a lot of things that he did. Those smoke routes that you see, a lot of audible situations that kind of came out of the West Coast concept. Some of that stuff is from the mind of Brett Favre, not on some evil genius stuff, on some goofy country dude who can figure out stuff type thing. Like, go back and pull up the tapes and listen to them talking about it. You can hear some of the, the Shanahans and some of these other people from the West Coast system talk about it. But, like, Brett Favre figured out a lot of stuff that now is just the norm that people kind of put in their offense. So, yeah, Brett Favre is totally different. But hold on.
Before you keep trying to cook that, I'm not letting you cook that and slip. Listen, okay, Brett Favre may have done some interesting things in his career, but the turnovers, I question that. Then you think about, okay, and then one Super Bowl they don't want to give Ben credit for, but he got there and won that one, and that was up against Seattle. But he has 2 Super Bowl wins, let alone the one when they beat Arizona with that pass in the back of the end zone to Santonio Holmes, which we all remember right there. He's gotten to 3 Super Bowls. At that, has far been to 3 Super Bowls. Has he had a run in his rookie season? Well, I mean, where he was benched, so he couldn't really do nothing, but where Ben went, 15 wins out the gate, went to the AFC Championship and lost to the Patriots. That was like his experience totem pole. He went up against the likes of the Peyton Mannings and Tom Brady's to, like, grow up in that and still was able to get 2 championships. He had his 2 championships before Peyton got his second one, and I'm not really giving Peyton credit for that second one for Denver because he had 149 yards passing. They went off of C.J. Anderson's back. So
wait a minute. So why you not giving Peyton credit, but you're gonna give Ben credit for his first one?
But Ben had been the better numbers than. Wait. Did he have 149 yards passing?
Peyton Manning folded in big games. Peyton Manning folded in big games. He had years when he was on the Colts going 15-1, all these outrageous records, and getting manhandled in the first round.
If you wanted to do that, then you could say that Big Ben lost big games in the AFC Championship game. How many times did the Patriots send them home? Like,
a lot of games.
But they went farther than the first round.
Well, did they go further than the first round because Ben was there?
This year.
And did Peyton Manning lose because he's Peyton Manning? Like, we do way too much with this quarterback stuff, hero worship. But we try to make it into they're the like it's insane.
They're mediocre players.
Here's kind of where
he doesn't have superstars, and they're still winning games.
Are you talking
best
about
team
Big
in
Ben?
Football. I'm talking about the Steelers roster. You say that Ben has far better teams.
Deontay Johnson, borderline number 1 wide receiver. Chase Claypool, 10 touchdowns as a rookie, athletic freak. Your boy Juju, one of the best young draft picks we've ever seen. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, no. Here's the thing. Hold on, hang on. Let me just kind of put my stamp on where Ben is, and then you guys can come back and argue it. But I agree with Naj. I think he's a step ahead of even just because of the numbers. But I've never looked at Ben any season that he's played and said he was the best quarterback in the league that year. That's why he'll never be on that Manning or Peyton Manning or Brett Favre level. Brett Favre has MVPs. Peyton Manning has MVPs. How many MVPs does
Peyton
Ben
Manning
have?
isn't even a top 5 quarterback of all time. Not even close.
I don't think Ben is a top 5 quarterback. I think he's ahead of.
Both of them are.
I think he's ahead of Eli Manning for sure. I think he's ahead of. I think he's like if you took like the ranges by quarterbacks, I'm thinking all time he's probably in that 11 to 20 range, maybe 20, 25. I would probably put him in between the 15 and 25 range is where I probably would put him. But again, I don't see any year where he was definitively the best quarterback in the league. He's never won an MVP. He's got 2 Super Bowls. He's just like Eli Manning. Eli Manning was never the best quarterback in the league. He's got 2 Super Bowls to answer for it. He's got two Super Bowl MVPs. But he's got years of statistics where he's finished in the top 10 for his career in passing yards and touchdowns and all that. But I'm never going to put those guys in that upper echelon because they've never been the best quarterback in the league. They've been a very good quarterback in the league in their better years. So that's where I kind of sit on it.
And this is no slight to Ben. Like, saying somebody's a top 20 quarterback of all time is not disrespectful.
Absolutely. I totally agree, Nice. That's where the kids of this generation, there's a disconnect with the older guys and the young guys, because if you say he's top 20, some kind of disrespect. You know how many freaking quarterbacks have come through this league? You know what I'm saying? To be in that upper echelon, to be number 11 in the top of all time, that's not a disrespect. That's respect. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, and the guy he's passing in his own franchise has more Super Bowls than him, but I think we all agree that Ben should be above him, and that's Terry Bradshaw. Well, Terry got 4?
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, Terry's got 4, but, and Terry would have had a better career if he had played in this era where it's a passing league. Terry Bradshaw doesn't get a lot of credit for being a great quarterback. But, he doesn't have the numbers to stand up with these guys from the Dan Marino era on because, when Dan Marino came,
and they were so
nobody
loaded,
put up,
it's hard to they were
nobody
so loaded,
put up those
it's hard
numbers.
to even fairly judge them too. Like, they had Hall of Famers
everywhere on that team. So it's like it's hard to give him credit when you had a Hall of Fame running back, a Hall of Fame fullback, Hall of Fame receivers, Hall of Fame defense. Like, he kind of gets lost in that shuffle, but Terry Bradshaw should get more respect. I mean, people think of him as an old guy with bald hair that does a Fox, pregame show. No, that guy was a hell of a quarterback, so whatever.
Okay,
Dan
like
Marino,
I was saying, because y'all all admit. Go ahead, Eric.
He's definitely a top 5. Okay, no problem. But Dan Marino, in my book, and he has the numbers to prove this, he didn't win Super Bowls, but he's definitely in the top 5 of best quarterbacks all time. Had one of the best.
I definitely agree with that.
I agree.
I totally agree with that.
I'm not lost in the ring shuffle.
Hold on.
So
give me your 5. Wait, Barry,
the rings are a factor, but
Barry, I'll let you go first. Give me your 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go around the room. I want to hear everybody top 5.
In order or just the 5 quarterbacks?
No. Specifically 5. You don't have to go in order because I don't want to rattle nobody's brain right now.
I mean, honestly, it's Montana, Brady, Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and then I probably put John Elway to my 5. That's my 5, and you don't have to agree. I don't care if you agree or not, but that's my 5.
Oh, well, I didn't say if I agree or not, but you ain't got to be all pussy.
No. I just said that's my 5, and I think John Elway is number 5 for me, and I think probably he'll get bumped out eventually by Mahomes if Mahomes has this kind of trajectory that people think he's going to be on. But that's my holy grail, Mount Rushmore plus 1.
Okay, all right. So here we go. Nas, your top 5.
Yes, throwing 5 out there. Joe, Brady. I guess I'm going to roll with Elway, too. Let's get some Marino in there, and let's get my boy Brett in there, man. But, again, we got Pat Mahomes coming up the list.
Brett is top 5.
We got Peyton. Hey, man. Brett's a bad dude. I know a lot of people don't respect him, but, look, Aaron Rodgers is coming. Pat Mahomes is coming. So all these things are fluid.
So you don't have Peyton in your top 5, no?
I mean, if not, it just depends on when you ask me. Like, if it's not top 5, what, 7, 8? You know what I mean?
I don't have Peyton in my top 5, and I'm not trolling no nothing. You can ask me Sunday through Sunday. You can ask me Sunday through Sunday. Real.
Okay, so What's Eric? What's your 5?
I'm going Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Johnny Unitas, Brett Favre.
See, I love Johnny Unitas, and I think he doesn't get enough credit. It's hard with the numbers to put him
Absolutely.
there, but like the guy, he is what every quarterback that's come after him is because of Johnny Unitas, and that's
Absolutely.
without question. So with the black shoes and all, but I mean he was the prototypical quarterback. I mean there wasn't a gunslinger until he came on the scene. But it's hard to put, like, I have to put the numbers against everybody. I have to be fair. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that, that should be on a list that don't usually make it, like Bart Starr and, we got, who else? You got Johnny Unitas. Yep. You got Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
These are
by possession. Right, you got to measure by possession and attempt to kind of balance the playing field of looking at some of those older guys. Because they were throwing it, so few times a game. So, Unitas is a good pick too. Because the way I was talking about Favre introducing new things to the NFL, you got to put that on Unitas. A lot of people started doing things based on what he did. So that's another guy I had in the book. But let me give y'all another category. How many guys did you draft that end up getting a new stadium built?
Time out. There's other people here.
Peyton Manning.
Wait.
Peyton Manning's on that list.
Here. Wait, hold on. Before you do that, we got other people here. You got Sirius over there sitting over there waiting to do something. Jesus. Like, yo, now I'm trying to take over. Look. Let me tell you something. Listen, let me tell you something, Sports City. This is the dude that hit me up and said, yo, get me in there right now. So let me in. So I get him in there, and now it's going crazy right now. Okay, so Aaron, let me get your
the black
top
guy's
5.
Going crazy. Everybody else is list up.
There's a lot of black people in here. Wait, hold on. There's a lot of black people here. Don't do that.
Here's a joke, Ty.
Right, so,
you didn't laugh. Let's serious go. I'm trying to set you up.
I'm joking around. I'm smiling hard as hell. I feel like a first-grade picture there.
I'm going to keep it all the way a buck with you. This guy has not been mentioned yet. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna throw Marino in there. I'm gonna throw Manning in there. I'm gonna throw Montana in there. Yo, cats are sleeping on Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was that dude.
Yes.
I can't put him top
Jim
5,
Kelly.
though. I can't put him top 5.
Oh, easily. I can easily put him in the top 5. Based off of his statistics, based off of what he had to deal with, based off of playing in Buffalo, I mean, hell, I mean, again, people can pull out Tom Brady and replace him with some other people, and I mean, at this point, it's just, whether you like, one type of thing or the other thing, but for me, I want a pure thrower of the football. I want a cerebral assassin at quarterback. I want somebody who, like my man said a minute ago, that was the best SOB on the field at any given time, and during that era, that was Jim Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I love Dan Marino, obviously, being the Pittsburgh guy. He's from Pittsburgh. They're the second and third. And then Peyton Manning and Joe Montana kind of rounded out. And, I mean, John Elway need to be said. I think John Elway was better than Brett Favre, if you ask me.
No, I think so, too.
I think so, too. Yeah, I
wouldn't
wouldn't argue with you on it. Yeah, I wouldn't argue with you.
I think Brett Favre is like 6'7" for me. I don't know about Jim Kelly. I think Jim Kelly is a great quarterback. I agree with Naj. He's definitely top 20. I don't know 5. I don't know. Because there's a lot of guys I could think of to put ahead of him, but it's not a bad list in to have these quarterbacks and to give them their shine. So.
Okay. So can I get my 5 with everybody up here cooking? Can I get my 5 in there?
Let's see, and then we can shuffle on to because we definitely got a lot to talk about.
I'm trying, but this dude now it's cooking. He took the tongs out my hand. He put everything on the grill. Said, "Get out the way." He gave me the damn Heisman. I'm trying to be serious. Like Sirius tried to come in here on a stick. I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? But I had to put a stake out there. Everybody started going crazy. Everybody went crazy. Okay.
I'm sorry for trying to help the show. I'm sorry. My bad.
Trying to help Ike.
But I'm not doing a good job. Wait. I'm not doing a good job. I'm trying.
Trying to help Ike.
Okay, Jesus. All right. So first I got slow down. I got it. First I got Thomas, right? Then I got Joseph, right? Then I got Daniel, right? Now this is where it gets tricky. 4, I got Troy. I'm putting Troy in there. Why would I fall away from Troy Aikman? Even though I can't stand the Cowboys, but I got to get Troy in there, right? So the 5th one. Now this like spans through every, like do I go to the 70s and look at Bradshaw with 4, or do I go into the 80s and try to feast in there? But it was like Montana dominated that. Do I throw Elway in there because Elway had a couple of appearances but couldn't win, but he finally won in the league? Do I look at Jim Kelly, or do I go to what's in the NFL right now and look at what we're dealing with right now? And one of the person's names that's in this kitchen is Aaron. I can't fall away from Aaron. I put Aaron number 5.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't have Scott Mitchell in there. I mean, what are we talking about? Troy Aikman in the top 5? Listen, why not Troy Aikman, but top 5?
Top 5. Wait. Tell me why Troy. Tell me why Troy does not fit the 5.
Detroit line history.
I don't put Troy in the 5. Tell me why Troy. Look. Wait, hold on. First off, the Detroit Lions don't have nothing to do with this. I didn't clown nobody else pick because I could have did that to everybody. The fact of the matter is, why don't Troy? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Let me talk, man. Damn. Listen, why don't Troy get to 5 when he got to them Super Bowls and did what he did? Let alone Emmett was there, but he had to get the ball to Moose, Novacek, Irvin, Harper. He had to do all of that. And
Emmett was there. That's how we're gonna describe Emmitt Smith during that Super Bowl run. He was there. How about this?
No, I'm not saying.
This is the point I tried. Let me get this point, man. This is the point I tried to get across earlier. Did the person win the Super Bowl as a passenger or as the driver? I think we can make that distinction. I think 4 Super Bowl appearances by Jim Kelly as somewhat the driver is more important than Troy Aikman winning 2 as a passenger. So that's why I would agree with somebody putting Jim Kelly in before I would agree with Troy Aikman in. So driver, passenger. Can your guy pass that test when we talk about rings?
So which one? The first one you would say he was the driver when they beat the crap out the Bills, right? The second one you giving Emmett the keys. Emmett had the keys. The second one against the Bills.
Emmett was driving the whole time, baby.
Oh my goodness gracious! So Harper, Irvin, and
without
Emmett
Smith, they don't win those championships. Without Emmett Smith, they don't win those championships.
I'm not saying he's not a piece of the offense. Wait. I'm not saying Emmett wasn't a piece of the offense, but let's be real here. Behind Troy Aikman was who? Like seriously, like they couldn't have anybody run that show. Like be real here. That dude had a dynasty in the '90s. Like seriously.
Honestly, he has a Super Bowl MVP.
In my list of greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah.
Just like Terrell Davis. Without Terrell Davis, John Elway doesn't have those championships. It was Terrell Davis who won the Super Bowl.
So then we can't put Elway there then. And Elway not in my top 5 because Elway lost a handful of Super Bowls. They was
Elway wasn't in my top 5 either, not even close.
Elway had no business getting to those Super Bowls.
Elway was the LeBron James of
ran
football.
him into the ground.
Yeah, Elway was the LeBron James of football. He was dragging teams that had no business being in the Super Bowl to the Super Bowl. Those are Brown teams that are still mad at John Elway for beating them in the playoffs when they were the better team. So, listen, I'm looking at Aikman's stats and no MVPs. He has a Super Bowl MVP. Out of 11 years, he played 6-time Pro Bowler. So half the time he was one of the better quarterbacks. I mean, I just can't.
120 all time.
165 TDs in his career. I can't put him there. I just can't.
Absolutely not.
But it's a fun argument. All right, what's next? I'm hungry.
Okay,
before y'all move on, can I get the stadium thing in to put the cherry on top?
Real quick.
Because Tom Brady got a stadium built. Peyton Manning got a stadium built. How many of these quarterbacks, when they were drafted, changed the franchise that much to the point of where success came where they could build a new stadium? Peyton can say it. Brady can say it. Who else can say it?
Well, I don't know if quarterbacks are really the reason why stadiums get built. I mean, I think it's the boom of the league in general. To be honest with you, these owners are making a lot of money off this digital money. I don't know if quarterbacks are the guys that are lining those pockets, but they definitely help. I'll agree there, but.
Yeah, but some of these places needed a new place. Like up there in Foxborough, that stadium was old. And you got to think of the RCA Dome. That RCA Dome was old. Like it wasn't the fact of they built this house. So so we're looking at Matty Ice and his situation in Atlanta. Did he help build that down there with the new Mercedes-Benz Dome down there in Atlanta? I'm not giving him the leg up for that.
The man who went to jail actually built the one down here. When you have consecutive sellouts for 5 and 10 seasons, quarterback deserves some credit in that. Now, I'm not a guy who tries to give quarterback all the credit, but when you talk about franchise quarterbacks, when they change your franchise to where you're a playoff team damn near every season, there's a financial aspect to that too, and that's where I talked about the stadium part. So look at that Brady era, look at that Manning era, look at the Michael Vick era. If you knew what Atlanta was like before Michael Vick, let me tell you, man, sellouts was very rare. Put it like that. Joe Montana.
Yeah, but I mean, Eli didn't build the new MetLife Stadium, so I don't know.
And Eli didn't win. And Eli didn't win to the level of those guys, which is why they got a shared stadium with the Jets in Jersey.
He won more Super Bowls than Michael Vick and
time out. So you're telling me if Eli was dominating those Super Bowls that they would have built him a separate stadium somewhere up in New Jersey or New York? Stop that.
That question doesn't make any sense. No, I'm saying if you draft a quarterback, let's say you draft a quarterback and you win 10 to 12 games a season, meaning you go to the playoffs every season. Now you got sellouts, now you got the seat licenses, all that other stuff that comes with it. There's a financial aspect to a quarterback's success. So, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, no, Eli doesn't fit the criteria.
Yeah, I'm saying if Eli was rattling off those numbers, they don't have room out here to just put a stadium somewhere just for him to just ball out for the Giants for the next 6 to 10 years. No. That's bad. That's a bad scale to weigh them off of. No, I'm not. That's not the picture that's painted. And if that's the case, then when are they going to redo Lambeau? Well, they already refaced Lambeau. So then how do Aaron Rodgers get measured in this? Because they just redid Lambeau. So how does he
get
measured in
The
this
Green Bay Packers
conversation?
are what? The one publicly owned team in the league, right?
Right. I get that. But look, he's putting up the 10, 12 wins a season. He's dominating the NFC North, even though I don't even like talking about this openly, even though I would love to just get him one good time, but he does his thing. The only thing it is that he falls apart in the postseason, and I can't really put it on him. It's that defense that he got. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay defense can't do crap. You know what I'm saying? So how do you rule Rodgers out when Rodgers damn near is a threat every time he steps on the field? I mean, every time he steps on the field.
Yeah, the Packers are the only publicly owned team. The rest of these teams we're talking. The rest
who's
of these teams we're talking about.
Or Allen? To you, who's the bigger threat? If it was a Super Bowl,
Hold up. Owners who would have to convince local voters to contribute to them getting a new stadium, and the people are going to have to feel good about the team to do that, and it's going to take a franchise quarterback to pull that off. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Now, if it was
I can agree with that.
If there was a Super Bowl, who would you take, Brett or Aaron, if they was going head-to-head?
Depends on what I got.
Equal pieces. They got the same equal pieces.
Ooh. I guess equal pieces. I guess I'll take Aaron.
There you go. So how the hell are you giving me Brett right now?
Because the other side of that is who goes to the Super Bowl with equal pieces? How many years do we see teams with equal pieces? For the most part, you're going to see one team better than the other. And if I got to come back in a game because we got lesser pieces or somebody's playing well, I want Brett Favre and not Aaron. Aaron is so risk-averse that it's hard to come back. Brett Favre, as bad as it gets sometimes taking those risks, there's also some game winners in there and some fourth-quarter comebacks in there.
Absolutely.
All of these quarterbacks have.
I still stick with my pick with Brett Favre over Aaron.
Interesting.
That may change by the time Aaron Rodgers' career is over. That may change by the time Aaron Rodgers' career is over. But as of right now,
I think it will
Brett
change.
Favre, and I'm taking Brett Favre.
Yep.
I'll take Brett
right
Favre slightly ahead of Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers will pull ahead of him. I think Aaron Rodgers will pull ahead of him.
What do y'all need to see done? Wait. What do y'all need to see done by Aaron to catapult Brett?
A Super Bowl. One more Super Bowl. I think it's elusive for him. I don't know if he'll get it because Mahomes is a bad man too, and there's some young kids coming up behind him. I don't know if they can put the right pieces around. I mean, get him a receiver for crying out loud, but
their defense is going to be their undoing, not Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is going to be their undoing.
I think it's going to be the defense, Simmons, and I think it's the fact that they're not giving him enough weapons. If you put Aaron Rodgers on that Chiefs team, that team don't miss a beat. I mean,
right?
I don't understand. I think it's a negative on the GM and the head coaches of Green Bay that Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl. You wasted a generational talent like Aaron Rodgers and only getting him to one Super Bowl because you didn't build around. Look at the guys he was throwing to when you take away Devontae Adams out of that equation. Look at the receivers he was throwing to. That's not world-class receivers. Those are good ones, but it's just a waste.
Listen, without Googling, I bet y'all can't name Aaron Rodgers' receiving core right now. Name his receiving core.
Allen Lazard, MVS, of course, Devontae Adams, Robert Tonyan.
And Devontae's one of the best in the league right now.
Yeah, right now. Okay. When he was coming up, that was the only pick that they made for him. I mean, look at this was the best receiving class.
And Nas being a purist, of course Nas gonna rattle them off. But like normal people, that's a Jeopardy question. You know what I'm saying? Like people be sitting up here rattled trying to give you that starting five.
Well, I gamble. That's different. I'm gambling, so I'm gonna know.
I mean, I know Lazard because he's on my fantasy team. I just brought him back off the IR, but I mean, like, let's be all the way a buck. Like, this was the best receiving core that probably we ever saw. I mean, the Jets, who only picked one receiver, and this Mims kid looked like a stud. You're telling me they couldn't get him one receiver? One. That's ridiculous. That's their undoing. Not building the right defense and not giving him the weapons for him to succeed and get another Super Bowl.
And he's still going 12-4, 13-3, 11-5. Like, these are the numbers that he's still putting up with that. He won a Super Bowl
and
with
that's
Jordy.
why even without a Super Bowl, he could pass Brett.
Right. He won a Super Bowl with Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver, Greg Jennings. Like these are knockout receivers. None of them. Jordy Nelson was a stud. Think about that. Jordy Nelson ain't even in the league right now.
That's because he got hurt.
And look at what Scantling Valdez is doing. He's emerging as one of his top targets too. So I think Green Bay is favored in my book to win the Super Bowl this year. Aaron Rodgers could pull it off this year with the receivers he has.
Now, picture Scantling somewhere else. Do you think Scantling would be a name somewhere else, or is Rodgers making him look like a baller?
Rodgers is making him look like a baller. You put him on any other team with any other quarterback, he ain't doing nothing. I mean, that's Aaron Rodgers right there.
He looked good.
No, the guy to bring up, what was that dude that Green Bay cut twice, and everywhere else he went, he would get cut, and he'd come back to Aaron and he'd catch 10 touchdowns? What was that guy's name? Didn't last in the league, but
Jones. Was it Jones?
Yeah, something Jones. Couldn't make a roster nowhere else. With Aaron, he catch 10 touchdowns.
James Jones was the receiver. James Jones.
That's it. Good point. Yep. That's it.
And look, and Rodgers making him look good. He got a job on TV. You think it's because he was nasty? Like, stop. Greg Jennings got a job on TV. Greg Jennings got nothing after he left Green Bay. We're talking junk about Aaron Rodgers, but everybody remember Greg Jennings when he was in Green Bay. Randall Cobb hasn't done nothing since he left Green Bay. Jordy Nelson retired. Like these dudes left Green Bay and was nothing. This is the same way that I look at, and I feel bad in saying it, it's the same way I look at Julian Edelman. Like, Edelman was in front of Brady. Once Brady left, now he's out injured and other stuff. Like, he don't want the ball no more. Like, cause now you're the focal point in the receiver corps, and everybody coming to tattoo your little tail. No, yeah, come on.
Yeah, but that HGH only lasts so long, bro. That HGH kind of wear off.
Wow. Okay. Ow.
There's some truth to that, though. There's some truth to that.
Look, now in this grill, he going this grill going crazy. Yo, look, okay. So I brought a little dish out right there. I like that. That was very interesting. I got the boys out their seat. Now, so I feel a certain way, Sport City, and I got to talk. I got to tell them how I feel. I got to talk about my sport as I see it, right? So just about 4 years ago, it was a decision that was made, and guys picked up his things and went to Golden State and won 2 championships, got the 3, lost the 3rd one towards Achilles, trying to rebuild himself back. Now he's out in Brooklyn. Now Brooklyn has this thing going on. They're trying to put together a team so they can win the East and try to put together a championship. Now, being said, you have LeBron signing an extension in Los Angeles with the Lakers. Now I'm looking at Brooklyn like, when this guy made the move from OKC to go to Golden State, I was like, I don't feel a certain way about KD no more. It's like, whatever. And, yeah, I'm a bitter fan. I didn't want to see that happen, but it was just like the way that he made that move. But now it's like, I don't know who can stop the Lakers with the pieces that they added in the West. So you're going to need a powerhouse team on the east side of the ball to do their thing. What team in the East is going to be trying to make that run to compete with the Lakers? Is it the Heat if they can retool? We sat here and argued before about Milwaukee. I don't think Milwaukee has it. Is it Brooklyn? And this is their first season of being together, especially with a first-time coach in Steve Nash, because I do want somebody to slow down LeBron and the Lakers, and it's looking like they're having issues already at the gate. You got Schroeder talking about, I demand to start at the point. And it's like, wait, hold on. I wonder how the Lakers organization handles this. So I want to see how y'all guys feel about this. Right now, I want to see KD at least make it an interesting final if Brooklyn is able to get there and try to stop LeBron and company. So I want to see how you guys feel about that. Barry, I'll let you set this one off and throw this one around the kitchen.
So just who out of the East? I mean, I guess it's like Brooklyn is probably the best shot. I mean, I don't see the Sixers. I think they made some nice moves. I think they need another piece. I think Milwaukee, I think we talked about it last week. They botched the trade. That would have probably put them over the hump. I don't see that happening. I think Giannis is a one-trick pony that, I think if he goes against the Lakers, I think they'll figure him out. The Heat, they're a player away. Hey, the Washington Wizards might make. I don't think they. I don't think they're going to make a run.
Get out of here. Slow down.
I think it's Brooklyn. I think, honestly, Brooklyn, with their 2 horses, I think if KD is anywhere near the level that he's accustomed to being, I think they're a serious threat at the Lakers. I think the Lakers, they'll have I think the West will be tough for them. I think it'll be a little easier that Golden State's not healthy. The Clippers are their only really, our only hope out there. I just need somebody to be. I don't want to see LeBron getting another ring. So
I definitely feel the same way. That's why I'm throwing this one around the kitchen and seeing how everybody feels about it. Sirius, I want to ask you, and I'm going to spice this one up, and I know this might interest other people too. Your thoughts on the team coming out east, but with Barry trying to hit on it, I know a lot of people going to play with it, so I might as well just get it out of there. Russell Westbrook going to the Wizards makes them a team in the East, and the last time Russ was with that head coach, he was in OKC, and they got to a final. Him and Scotty Brooks reunite, but I don't think they get nowhere near an Eastern Conference final, just him and Bradley Beal. I think they need way more pieces out east. And I'm also wondering in the West, does Harden stay or does he force his way out of the door to try to contend somewhere else? But I'll let you throw this one around also, Sirius. How do you feel about teams out of the East?
Honestly, man, as it stands right now, there are 1, maybe 2 possible teams out of the Eastern Conference that I feel are a legitimate threat to anybody in the West. And those are, unfortunately, your Brooklyn Nets, if they all can stay healthy and play together ball. Keep in mind, what I'm saying, D'Antoni's there, so they're going to score the basketball. They're going to score the basketball, but can they play defense? But honestly, man, I like what Boston's doing. And I hate Boston, but when you got yourself a Brad Stevens and Jason Tatum is turning into a mega star, and they do strap up and they do play defense. So I think it's a two-headed monster coming out of the Eastern Conference. As far as the trade that just went down, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to feel. As you all know, I am your resident Houston Rocket fan, but I am not a John Wall fan. Never have been. So the good thing that came out of that whole song and dance is that you do pair him back with his Kentucky teammate Boogie Cousins. And so we'll see what happens with it. But with Rice going back to his coach Scott Brooks, having a fresh start, with the emergence of Bradley Beal becoming a mega star, I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Before the season started, I kind of had them earmarked as, a location, and, the acquisition of Mr. Westbrook, does kind of catapult them up a little bit. But I don't see anybody out west really contending with the Lakers. Even my Rockets. I'm not a fan of the Clippers. I'm not a fan of Portland. I'm not a fan of Denver. Utah. Congratulations to Donovan Mitchell for getting that mega deal, but I'm not a fan of them. I don't see anybody out west really banging with them right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what takes place.
Okay, Nas, how about you? How do you feel about teams in the East trying to make the situation? Is it more or less a top-heavy Kyrie KD thing, and if they could try to add Harden? And also, I mean, just like Sirius rattled off in the West, I mean, there's a handful of good teams out West, but I don't think any of them slow them down. It's slowing the Lakers down when everything comes to the grind in the Western Conference.
Yeah, well, look, man, first things first, let's stop crowning people. The Lakers are great. Are they 2016 Warriors great? No, they're not head and shoulders above the rest of the league. And anytime a guy is LeBron's age with the amount of minutes he's had, there's some risk for injury, especially a season coming back this quick. So I don't think the Lakers are overwhelming favorites like to how it's being stated, like everywhere on sports radio and stuff like that. They're the favorite, but I wouldn't put them that much above the field. So all the contenders in the West, I would put a little something down on them in a series against the Lakers, because if anything goes wrong with the Lakers' two king chess pieces, and we all know Anthony Davis going to the locker room, that's a blurb we've seen for years. The idea that couldn't happen, or the LeBron thing couldn't happen, I think there's a chance for that. So, Clippers, Nuggets, Portland, all the contenders in the West have a shot, and the top tier of the East. So Philly, Boston, Milwaukee, even Miami, like you guys said, if they kind of smooth out a couple of moves, and, of course, Brooklyn. But, I just don't think it's as open and shut as it looks right now as far as, the Lakers laying out their roster. Because think about how much they're going to have to load manage Anthony and LeBron this year. Because, what are we, 3 weeks?
It's 3 weeks from the start. Yeah, you're right. And 3 weeks from the start of the season.
Yeah, and they're starting right back up. Yeah, so don't crown the Lakers just yet, man. Even though y'all are hating on that man LeBron, y'all don't want to see him get another ring. Y'all pray for his downfall.
Nice. You got to know the Villain. Wow. If you've never done a show with the Villain, know that I hate LeBron James. I hate hearing his name. I hate seeing his face. I hate looking at his ball spot. I hate him. Okay, I don't want to see him or his bald spot get another ring. It blinds my vision. to see that shiner on the top of his head, it drives me bonkers. And TP knows why, because he shunned my team 10 years ago like a scumbag and didn't want to come to New York because he wanted to do the easy way and go to Miami and get a chip so he can get the easy chips and be on Jordan's level. He'll never be on Jordan's level. You're a loser.
He'll never be on Kobe's level. That's the thing, man. Kobe and Jordan are the two best basketball players to ever grace the game. Facts.
Whoa. Now, look, man, rest in peace and salute to the, fallen and all that. But we're not going to keep rewriting this Kobe Bryant story. A man who in his elder days couldn't get another star to come because he is so much deteriorated.
He did it the right way.
He's
5 championships, 20 years with the same team, and had to dealt with crappy teams, and he still stuck it, still dominated. Mike dropped on his last game ever played, even after his Achilles injury, dropped 60 points like nothing. What other player has done that? Nobody. And everybody's
that's the most labored shot-chasing 60 points you will ever see. And we will not act like that was some great, glorious moments that Lakers fans tell us it was.
Jordan,
look,
Jordan had
Kobe's
14
all-time
points
great
his last game.
Yeah, but he was also.
No, you know what it is, though? Kobe tried to get himself traded out of there. Let's not try to say that he was there for 20 years and it was all rosy. He tried to get himself traded out of there.
He was there for 20 years. He stuck. Yeah, he stuck.
No, he didn't stick.
It,
he didn't stick. Boss said, "Hey, I'm not trading you out of here."
20 straight years.
Boss said, "Listen, I'm not trading you. I'm not trading you."
This isn't horseshoes. This isn't horseshoes or hand grenades, though. This is reality. And he stayed and stuck it out. His last 3 years, the Lakers were terrible. He still stuck it out, and everybody's giving way too much credit to the Brooklyn Nets. KD is
because the Lakers paid him.
Devastating injury.
The Lakers paid him.
The devastating.
That's why he stuck it out his last 3 years, because the Lakers overpaid him like the Yankees overpaid Derek Jeter.
Hey,
so and before that, he was trying to get himself traded out of there.
They didn't pay the goat. You give guys like Kobe Bryant an open checkbook. You give guys like Kobe Bryant an open checkbook. Here, what is it going to get for you to stay? I mean, let's be real here. Let's don't, get our hate towards players like the
No, it's not hate against Kobe Bryant. It's not hate against Kobe Bryant, but it's facts. I have to tell you the truth.
Okay, but the facts
he stuck it out because he got a blank check.
Arguably, like we're doing now, and I'm not saying either way, arguably one of the greatest players ever to play the game. But let's move on to the Brooklyn Nets, what we're talking about.
Hold on before we do that. Hold on, big dog. Before we do that, hold on real quick.
Yep.
We just got to say, we cannot say that Kobe is one of the best two players to ever play. Like, Kobe's in the top 10. Like,
him and Michael Jordan. Nobody
start doing that.
Hey, go back. Hey, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and see old Kobe's game-winning shots from all the series from when him and Shaq dominated. He made shots that nobody, LeBron James, nobody in this league would make except Michael Jordan. You got 4 guys on you and you throw a 3 and just lobbing it over him and it goes in.
Well, a lot of people wouldn't have shot it to begin with. That's a whole other story. Look,
here's the deal. He was the deal. Hey, next week I want you guys to go and you YouTube this and you actually watch this man play and what he did, the king of buzzer beaters, and he made them look like they were easy. So the thing is, Kobe Bryant.
And he's not even the king of that.
He's the king of buzzer beaters over Mike? Over Mike?
Absolutely.
He's not the king of buzzer beaters over LeBron.
Mike. Hey, look at the YouTube video where Michael Jordan puts Kobe Bryant above himself. Michael Jordan and Kobe were great friends. Michael Jordan said the only person that could ever beat him in a one-on-one game was Kobe Bryant because he emulated him. Period. Facts. Do your research before you start saying all this and watch footage. These are bona fide facts.
What Mike said after a couple of cognacs don't mean nothing to me. We can go to basketball now and see that Kobe has less buzzer beaters than Mike and LeBron. Like, you can look that up. That's a fact. That's not an opinion.
Yes, he does. No, those are facts. Those are
sorry,
facts.
Man.
YouTube them and watch. And here's the deal with that.
And also,
That's what
while you're
Michael
on
Jordan
YouTube,
said.
you can look up him in a Game 7 against the Phoenix Suns where he refused to shoot in the second half. You can also look up him getting beat in the first round, getting swept after Shaq left because he couldn't hold it down himself. There's a lot of things you can find on YouTube.
He carried teams on his back. That Phoenix series, he's like, let me see what these guys can do around me because I can't do it all. And that's that. And then look what Michael Jordan had to say at Kobe's funeral. Just watch it. Go to YouTube and see.
Well, I ain't never talked bad about a man at his funeral, so.
I'm saying look what Michael Jordan said about him, and Michael Jordan crying the whole time. That was his little brother. Michael Jordan, he gives you his top three.
Definitely.
He laughs at the fact that people compare LeBron James to him and Kobe. And when he says him and Kobe are the best to ever do it.
So now
we
listen to Michael player evaluations. I think we got 10 years of draft to tell us not to listen to Mike on player evaluations.
Because nobody had the heart, nobody had the determination, and nobody trained and practiced harder than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
These are intangible things. And whenever you can't win an argument with Kobe and Mike fans, this is what it goes to. Heart, determination, and hard work.
Facts.
The Dusty Rose
so
special.
who would you guys put over Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan? You're going to tell me Steph Curry, little glass man? Who would you put over these two guys? It's not happening.
We're not. I think Kareem and Mike. That's the discussion. That's the arguable one. Like Kareem and Mike. Kareem's resume is ridiculous. If you look at Kareem's resume, like you'll get tired when you're halfway done with his resume. Like and then the other one I'd like to throw in. A lot of people.
Look at the top 4 players all-time leading scoring list, and tell me who's on that.
Yeah, but Kobe Bryant is a top. There's no disrespect for Kobe Bryant to be a top 10 player. And Kobe Bryant is. He's one of the greatest shooting guards ever, the second greatest ever. Yep. But he is not ahead of Kareem. He's not. In my book, he's not. And that's not disrespect. And it's not. And it's not disrespect to the dead. Everybody in this room respects the hell out of Kobe Bryant. But if you look at Kareem's resume, college, pros, there is no comparison. You can argue that Kareem is ahead of Michael Jordan. You can argue it, and you would have a justifiable argument. You would definitely – I don't put him ahead of Jordan, but you have a justifiable argument. People don't put respect on Kareem's career. That guy is top 3, easy.
You're on glue if you're not putting Kobe Bryant in the top 3. That's all I'm saying. So you can mix and match.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. You make great points. You make great arguments. I like your arguments, but from my seat, I'm a stubborn person. TP knows me. I'm stubborn as hell. There's no way I'm putting Kareem ahead of Kobe, and that is not disrespect to Kobe Bryant.
And I just broke one of my rules. I broke one of my rules of life. Never argue with a Kobe fan or Iverson fan about their ranking in NBA history. Never do it.
Hey, they're just facts, gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So even if I wasn't, you got to give credit to where credit's due.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say you're wrong.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it like this. Like, and Eric, I hate to burst your bubble. Like, I give Magic the head up over Kobe.
Just like Mac Lucci said, still the best player underrated like Kobe. That's all it is.
Right,
but extremely underrated.
Wait, hold on, Eric. I give Magic the leg up over Kobe, to be honest. Like,
you're tripping, bro.
Yeah,
I would. You're tripping, dude.
Magic, listen, in 11 years. Hold on. In 11 years,
Magic, his last 5 years, he started declining, dude. He couldn't even get over 13 points a game.
But he
when he went to the NBA Finals in '91, and then he dropped out with HIV in '92.
Would even tell you he's on glue. Magic Johnson said that Kobe Bryant was the greatest Laker ever in history, coming from Magic Johnson's mouth.
Yeah, but that's the greatest Laker. Wait.
Wait. Hold on, TP. Let me get this. Let me get ahead of this one. The greatest Laker doesn't make you the greatest player ever. The greatest Laker is because of his longevity.
No, Ty.
Hold on. Let me retort. You gave me allow me to retort. Listen, the greatest Laker doesn't make him the greatest player. I mean, Jordan is the greatest Bull. Okay?
I'm not saying that, though.
Clyde Frazier is the greatest Knick. That doesn't make him the greatest player. The greatest point guard to ever lace it up is Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson did something. I know you're old enough to know this, but NBA was on a tape delay for the finals. The NBA. Hold on. Let me get this out, and then you can retort. The NBA finals was on a tape delay before Magic Johnson and Larry Bird saved the league. This league was going to fail. This league was going to go bankrupt. These guys saved this league to put it where it is now. If you can't put that in perspective,
no doubt.
Then if you can't put that into proper
they're top 10 players of all time, and those guys are in the top 10 greatest players of all time without a question. That's not even the argument here at all. Ty just said he would put Magic Johnson in front of Kobe. That's his opinion.
I would. I have him ahead of him. I would. Magic to me is number 6. Magic's number 6 on my list.
Hold on. Wait, Eric. Let me tell you something, Eric.
I want to know your top 5 because let's hear it.
Eric, Magic.
Okay, my top 5 is Jordan, James, and the 3 centers. That's it.
Wait, Magic broke a record in the NBA career within like 8 years before he had to retire. He broke that assist record in that short of a time. Let alone all the damage he was doing out west with the Western Conference. Let alone that, the story that everybody just uses for Magic when he had to jump center and he had a 42-point, 15 rebound, 7 assist game playing center up against Philly and the dock in them. Like, you got to think about everything he was doing then in the 80s when it was heavy Boston.
Won finals, man.
Yeah, but he won 5. He won 5 in 11 years.
Who won 5? Who won 5?
Magic.
Yeah, exactly. The same as Kobe.
Now
in 11 years.
Now we go back to the analogy from earlier. How many did he as the driver?
In 11 years, though, Eric, Kobe won his 5 in what? It took him, 14?
14 years. Not even.
It took Kobe 14 years.
We dominate every area of domination.
No, I got 2 questions, and these 2 questions will shut all this down. How many did Kobe win as the driver? And the answer would be 3, because the first 2, you got to say Shaq was driving. And then the second question is,
that's why I'm telling you to watch the videos of these. No, without Kobe shots, they don't win those.
The era before that, you talking to a basketball guy. So
wait, say that again. Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said, how many years was Kobe the driver on his championship?
Your second point.
Answer is going to be
point.
Right. Oh, the second point is this. This is a simple one. How many years was Kobe the best player in the NBA?
1.
One?
Maybe.
No. 1. He look at his stats. Just because he didn't win the MVP.
Eric, here's the deal. If you look at the MVP years, how many MVPs did he have? 1.
Yeah,
1 MVP.
But that doesn't matter because he was hated on because what happened in Colorado, folks.
I understand that, and that's probably valid. That's probably a good reason why he didn't get an MVP. But he only has 1 MVP.
And beyond just saying MVP, before Colorado,
MVP doesn't mean nothing.
Tim Duncan was the best player in the league.
Finals MVP when Anthony Davis should have got it. So that means nothing to me. Anthony Davis was the clear NBA Finals MVP, and they gave it to LeBron.
You just tried to conflate 2 different things. A Finals MVP and a regular MVP are not the same thing.
Regular season
but the main
MVP
point is Tim Duncan was the best player in the league for longer than Kobe was during his own era. and then you tell me he's top 3. That don't add up.
I mean,
that's your opinion. Look at the stats. Kobe Bryant averaging 29 points
the best
every
player
year.
In the league for those 2 championships to start their run.
3.
I give Kobe the 3rd. I give Kobe, but I give Kobe the 3rd.
Okay,
Kobe was a monster by that year.
That's fair. Okay.
I'm just saying,
you'll
Kobe
take
was
those
not
years.
the best player ruling the league.
But even if you want to do that, Naj, you look at the last one they won together, Shaq and Kobe. After that, they lost the finals with Shaq and Kobe, as Kobe is the best player. Okay?
Yeah, but even,
hey, keep it real. Hey, check this out. 18-time NBA All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, okay? Who else has made the All-Star game
All-Stars are kind of bullshit because he was voted in as a starter and he wasn't the best shooting guard in the league.
The MVP award is the popularity contest. Okay?
So
that's what it
is the All-Star game. So is the All-Star game.
If the MVP
we're looking
was
at half the season. We're looking at half the season that you get voted.
Wouldn't have one.
Exactly.
25 points. Off a career. That's what he averaged on his career, 25 points.
Who, Kobe?
20 years.
Yeah.
20 years.
Player.
Dominated for 20 years.
Now,
for 20 years.
Field goal percentage towards the back half of his career,
he
and
dominated.
you look at similar scorers who average 25 too. So that's not a special
thing
that nobody else can do.
And hey, the only reason it went down is in the 29 because of those injury-prone years. And that's where I'm getting back to my point is that KD is going to be nothing like he was on the Warriors or the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's not happening. So I don't know why everybody's riding high on Brooklyn's coattails when there's other teams in the East that have more firepower. KD,
I look at it
him to be.
Yeah, he may not be MVP
KD,
but if he's all-star level
that's a
KD,
devastating
that's still
injury.
a problem. Oh yeah.
I agree with you, Eric. I don't think we're looking at KD to be that same MVP caliber player, but this guy is 6'11", that shoots when he shoots the ball, he's almost like 7'6". He's a dynamic shooter. Even if you don't lose your shot. If he's the same shooter that he was before, this guy is still going to be at least a top 10 player in the league. I think we're banking on that for him to be a lethal sniper and to be able to score. He's not going to be able to score 30 a night, but he'll get his 20, 22, 23. That's probably good enough on that team, no?
Yeah, he's 32 years old coming back from a devastating injury. So
sure.
That's still banking pretty high, you know?
But I don't think he has to carry that load by himself. I think he can. I mean, that's why Kyrie's there. But I mean, listen, I think Sirius threw out an interesting point. What did you say, Eric?
Who do you like on that team, though? Who do you like on that team on Brooklyn besides Durant and Irving? That is really a game changer that can make things happen. Who else do you like on that team? I'm just not seeing
Spencer
that they have too
Dinwiddie,
much help.
Jared Allen, DeAndre Jordan.
Exactly.
It's a nice team.
Exactly.
Jared
Allen is the guy.
Nice
I think Jared Allen's the guy. I think who's the shooter?
DeAndre Jordan's on the downcline big time.
No.
He's splitting minutes with Jared Allen. That's perfect.
Exactly. Jared Allen is better than him, and coming off the bench, DeAndre Jordan is not bad. Who's the shooter they just paid? Naj. Who's the shooter they just paid?
Joe Harris.
Huh? Yeah.
Joe Harris.
So I mean, he's a hell of a shooter. LeVert is a good player. This is a good team. This was a playoff team without KD and Irving.
Miami, Philadelphia, and Boston. You really put Brooklyn ahead of Miami, Boston, and Philadelphia. Can you really do it?
I'll put them healthy ahead of Miami. I'll put them ahead of the Sixers. Boston, Sirius brought up an interesting point with Boston. And I kind of forgot about them, but I don't know what's going on with them with Kemba Walker. Is he going to be on the team? Are they going to try to trade him? I don't know what that situation is going to be like. But listen, they got some young horses down there in Brown and Jason. I mean, those are two guys right there that basically were so good they pushed Hayward out of town because of the level that they're playing at. So it's like if they can get Kemba in the fold together, I think that's a scary team. But I don't know. I agree with Naj. I think the role players on Brooklyn are vastly underrated. Those role players push that team into a playoff situation without their two stars. I mean, LeVert, Harris, Allen, Dinwiddie. Those are some good players that you have along with two stars. Watch. We're going to see this year how good Brooklyn's going to be.
Steve Nash and D'Antoni running the show over there. So, I mean, we've already seen what D'Antoni does with big teams. He cannot handle teams like this. So,
and I don't think he's being asked to handle that team.
Yeah, they're going to try to outscore
but Steve Nash has no experience. So we are putting way too much chips on the Brooklyn Nets right now when we don't know. Now, in the middle of the season, then we can come back and check this out. But we're putting too much hype up on them.
That's fair.
No?
I think that's fair too. But I look at Jason Kidd. He had no experience, and he took a team to the playoffs his first year. So, we don't know what we're going to get out of Nash. We don't know if he's going to run the same offense that D'Antoni has, take some of his philosophy, and then make it his own. We all said the same thing about Steve Kerr his first year. That turned out pretty good. So, I agree. Let's see what happens halfway. Say it again.
That was Mark Jackson's team. Steve Kerr gets way too much credit over there.
We all know that. We all know that. But, I mean, hey, Steve Kerr, walked into a good team. And I think you can agree that Nash is walking into a playoff team. That
absolutely
right. Okay,
absolutely.
So that's a similar situation. We'll see what happens. Listen, we'll see what happens.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. The NBA season's right around the corner, so I'm excited for it.
And hey, another season and another Knicks failure. So I'm ready. I'm ready to get the popcorn ready.
No, slow down. There's a Powell on the Knicks, so you have to slow down. There's a member there, so you have to chill out. There's a Powell on the Knicks, so I will be watching closely to what the Knicks do.
Miles?
Yes, Miles is on the Knicks, so relax, okay? Chill out.
Can I talk my junk? TP,
I hope the Knicks turn it around, man, because growing up in the 90s, I enjoyed watching the Knicks, and it's been sad what's happened ever since Patrick Ewing and John Starks left.
I know, but TP, can I talk my ish again real quick?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Okay, I appreciate it. I want to stay on strike with the Knicks. I don't want to come back. We talked about it before. I'm Tina Turner. The Knicks and James Dolan are Ike, and I can't run away. Now I have Ike in the car. I let him in the car. He has that bouquet of flowers. He's like, I wrote this song for you. It's like that. It's like that old that thing that the kids are listening to these days. And when I play it, it reminds me of me and you. So he sweet talked me with Obi Toppin and all these guys. But then free agency came, and then I kicked him out of the car and slammed the door because I got angry again because we couldn't get anybody. I can't do that. It's an abusive relationship, CP. I mean, it's an abusive relationship. Why do I have to?
There's a shooter with a last name Powell. You should be okay. We keep one ready. We keep one ready, okay? We keep one ready. You okay? So look, I'm worried about Miles. I don't want to see him decline. He didn't even get drafted. I'm mad the way that the draft went down because I think he should have got drafted. But the Knicks have a shooter that can handle the ball, and he's big time quality, and he's a Jersey product too. So I'm hoping that he sees time, and knowing that they're young, he could end up being the point guard out there, and he could shoot. So that might help. But him, Obi Toppin, those are right. But he's a point. He'll end up being a point guard because even though he's a shooting guard mentality, but I think they'll have to transition him to the point guard position. But he's gonna have to get quicker because he's gonna have to deal with all of the speedsters in the NBA. Right. So I wonder how he's going to have to make that transition.
Honestly, TP, I see him going to the G League to learn how to play point guard because he's a shooter that's really short. So I think if they can move him to the G League or the D League, whatever they want to call it, and teach him how to distribute and run an offense, I think he can be a solid pick. I think I can definitely see him making some waves in the pros, but I don't see him learning in the pros how to play the point.
Hey, cough him up. You could send him right to Oklahoma City. We could do what we need to do. Cough him up. I don't want to cheer no Knicks nothing. But if he do start or get on, with 6 man or something, I gotta get the jersey. I gotta get the jersey. I got to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Could anybody take Julius Randle? For the love of God, anybody, somebody.
I don't know anybody.
Relax, Villain. You got till the trade deadline. When somebody gets hurt, they're going to keep him on ice. He'll be a nice chip to move. God. Just relax. You'll get it. You'll get something for him.
Naj, you just don't understand. It's so abusive. I can't. Why do they do this to me? They get me all juiced up. I got Obi Toppin here. I'm ready. I got and then we can't even get a meeting with Van Fleet. He's like, yeah, I'm not meeting with these guys. Get lost. We can't even get DJ Augustine. DJ Augustine? Are you serious?
Yeah.
We can't even get that guy?
Now, Villain. Now you complain about the wrong thing. Not getting a meeting with Fred Van Fleet was the best thing that ever happened to you because y'all would have gave him $100 million. So that was the best thing that ever happened to y'all.
That's true. But, I mean, listen, we're not going to build in free agency. We got to build through the draft. I just hope we got to get that. I think we got 2 corner pieces in Barrett and Obi. So hopefully we get that one player that can put us over the top. Like, the Celtics.
Now I can speak. Now I can speak as a Atlanta guy. Yeah, you guys are where we were a couple years ago. So y'all doing the rebuild right. You finally stopped throwing bags at free agents to do a quick fix. Y'all doing a long-term rebuild. Yep. That's what was needed. So.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you.
It could have got ugly, man. Dolan will write a check in a minute, so y'all got lucky, man.
Yeah, God. I mean, it's we'll move on. I can't do this.
And Ty, what you think about this? Fred Van Fleet is worth 80 in Toronto, but he's probably only worth 50, 60 everywhere else. Think that's true?
I agree with that.
Look, that's definitely true. You want to know why? And Nas, you know what I'm about to say. You know me already. You've been around me long enough. Kyle Lowry ain't that ish. Listen, you can't have a leader as your point guard, right? You cross half court and it's like 18 seconds on the clock, and he does a fadeaway 3, fade into his left, and everybody looking at him like, yo, the play ain't even set up. Like, and what did you see? You didn't even shake him off you for a clear shot. It's like Lowry would take those type of shots, and his antics are only going to get caught up to like it's successful at certain times in games. But right now, he is aging. I want to say he's in his late 20s, early 30s. Like, so that's coming around. Van Fleet is still young. So they probably are waiting for a situation for them to get a reason to get Lowry out of there, and he's already situated. He's already like planted in. So that's the way I look at Van Fleet's situation. Plus, he's respected in Toronto too. So it's like, if they got rid of him and then Lowry ends up going somewhere because his play is going to decline, I don't think Lowry's going to get better than what you see right now. They had to situate themselves for the future, and let alone between Van Fleet and Cuzzo, Norman Powell, the way that they play together, it kind of works for the system of the Raptors. But I want to see how the Raptors look now without Serge and Gasol both being gone. Like, they lost 2 of their bigs, even though Gasol was, to me, I don't know what the Lakers were thinking. I think he was on a big decline. But Serge going to the Clippers might help because at least he's another defensive piece with Kawhi and Paul George. So that's interesting.
Oh, no, Gasol's just Joker insurance. He's just there for if they get Denver in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what he is. But I think he's a skilled big man around the perimeter. That's a little bit. I mean, JaVale McGee and Howard they're rebounders and intimidators inside. I think Gasol is a guy that can stretch the court a little bit better. So I think he opens up the lane a little bit more for Davis and company to operate in the post and on the block if they ever wanted to, if they don't want to hang out by the 3-point line where everybody hangs out. But yeah, I like Serge going to the Clippers. I think that's a good move. Like I said, kind of last week, I still think the Clippers just need a point guard. And to Naj's earlier point, that's what the trade deadline's for. I think they'll make that trade and probably pick up Rondo and trade some assets over to the Hawks. I don't see Rondo sticking in Atlanta for very long. But it's gonna be interesting this year to see how everybody adjusts with the season starting in December and moving through the season and to see how like the shorter training camp is affecting people, that not having a summer league for some of the young kids, how that's affected. It's going to be interesting. I think in the West there's not a lot of teams that I think can hang with the Lakers. I think there's a few. I think Denver is they're close. I don't know how close they can get to beating the Lakers, but they can get. I think they can give a run for the money if everything breaks right. But the Clippers are I think the only team that can kind of give the Lakers a real good fight out there. So, but like we said in the East, it's not wide open. I think there's some good teams that can make a run at it. So we'll see.
If it did go down there in the East like that, I would rather see KD lined up against LeBron. That's the only hope, because I don't think there's anybody in the East at the 3 position that could beat him. And if you got Giannis there, Giannis is like, Conan, like by himself. Like of course he may have some sidekicks, but you ain't hearing too much about him. You know what I'm saying? Like in the West, like the Clippers may be the one team. I know Denver gave them a fight, but I feel like that's going to always turn out like that. As much as Murray may put up, and that's box office basketball at the end of the day. But I need to see something prove to me that there's a team that wants to compete with them. The Nuggets may be one, the Clippers may be two. After that, I mean, there's going to be great teams in the Western Conference. I just don't feel like they physically can match up with the Lakers, especially if they're healthy. Like it bothers me, and I got to give Vogel his credit now, because Vogel finally got a championship too. That's what's lost in this translation also. All right, so we are at the tail end of the show, unless you guys have one more thing to throw out there quickly, because I at least got 2 more minutes before I got to head up out of here. But I know we had a great couple of pieces of steak thrown on this doggone grill, and I had to set y'all off with that quarterback talk. I had to, but I don't care what Nas say, man. Brett ain't in that discussion. Brett is not in that discussion. I'm not having that, man. I'm not having that. He could go somewhere with that. He better go ahead. All right. So I need plugs to close out from each of you, because this was beautiful work, and and not only me, Eric brought some dishes in here too. It got hot. You can't talk about Kobe. But listen to me, Kareem Magic, and I like. That's one thing that I mess with. That's why I mess with Nas.
I got a lot of love and respect for all those guys.
And I'm a Tim Duncan fan too. So Tim is in the discussion too, and I'm mad that I didn't get Timmy in there, but me and Nas always throw Tim around. It's like that's my guy, that's my brother, man. So he threw Tim in that discussion, and knowing Tim did it for 20 years and got 5 championships on a team that was a small market, and the Spurs aren't even talked about really like that no more since Tim and Parker left. So that's a whole nother discussion. So plugs, closeout, promos from each of you. I'm going to start with you first, Eric. Give me a plug, closeout, shout out, anything that you like to promote as we get up out of this cookout this evening.
Hey, it was great show tonight. Love chopping it up with each and every one of you brothers. So God bless each and every one of you and your family. And check us out next Sunday, Sports City. We're coming at you.
For sure. He is not lying right there. Nas, you already know how to close this thing down, and I don't care what you say. Don't say Brett Favre again. And don't you ever come in here and say that, pray for my downfall ever again. You better not, never. Man, never.
Shout out to DMC. No disrespect to anybody on the show, man. Y'all know me. I'm an old guy. I'm always aggressive. That's just how I talk. It's definitely not personal or anything like that. Me getting caught up in the Kobe conversation, I broke one of my my rules of life, and I apologize for that. Shout out to my man Sirius. Sirius, my bad if I got in the way too much, so you ain't get to really fully let off today, even though your team is undefeated. Congratulations. But yeah, man, good time with the Cookout. Shout out to everybody on the show, man. Good talking with y'all.
Yeah, man, y'all made Sirius leave, man. I wanted to get something out of him, but Nas up here cooking like crazy, man. I don't know what to do, man. He, like I said, I was going in on that quarterback conversation. He started hitting me. He's like, let me in. So you already know he came ready for it, man. So, Barry, you already know what to do. Close that side of the grill, and I'm going to get up out of here, man.
I can't believe we went a whole show and we ain't talked that ish about Westbrook going to the Wizards, really, man. We just kind of let it simmer. We didn't even take it off the grill.
That's where Westbrook's career is. A non-story off the main page.
So you don't even know. Like he thinks no. You're right. Listen, you wanted to act like you wanted to leave OKC because everybody couldn't play with you. You went to Houston and you couldn't play with Harden. Now look at you. You stuck in D.C. You back with Brooks, and the only piece you got is Bradley Beal. Let's be real here. Now look what you did. You're in a circle of no fire, and to be honest, I find it hard. If Russell will ever get a championship. Now it's a situation where he's going to be passed around the league. His attitude got him here.
Playoffs.
I said championship. I listen. Listen. Russell alone can get Washington to a playoff position. In the East, he can do it. But Eastern Conference Finals. That's no.
Listen. Yeah. No, it ain't happening. I was never thinking that guy was going to get a championship, but yeah, I mean it's a crazy trade. It works out for both sides. But they're just getting rid of guys that really don't want to be there anymore. So, I don't even know how you can put it into words. But I mean, and TP lost the coach. Matt Patricia relieved of his duties. I don't know if you're happy about that or.
You want me to answer? You want me to answer it?
Yes.
Okay,
brother.
there was a song I think there's a song that we all grew up listening to. You ready? That they wrote a song about it. You want to hear it? Here it go. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. It's a small world after all. It's a small world. And the best part about it is they got rid of both of them. Like usually you see one of them go and one of them stay. And not to pick on you, Barry, but you look at the Giants the way they did with Gettleman and McAdoo, and they got rid of McAdoo, but they kept Gettleman. It was like, no. Quinn was like, let's get rid of Caldwell right now. I'm going to bring my guy in here. As soon as they brought Patricia in, they hugged like it was the Titanic. Like it was a scene on the Titanic, and they was hanging off the side of the damn boat like they was about to save Michigan. And they made us look horrible to the world, like everybody. And here go everybody. Ty, what y'all going to do? Patricia making y'all looking bad. I'm not a manager. I don't own that team or nothing. But watching Martha and her daughter and all of them pull the trigger and get rid of them at the same time, I'm like, yes, now everything is back to square one. Like, this is where I would agree with Nas when he's saying, Ty, get your team to rebuild. Like, okay, so let's start it off. Let's set it off right here and now. Luther Vandross, shout out. Okay. Anything else, Barry, before I do my close off?
I can dig it. Listen, first place Giants. Danny Jones. We're not calling him Dimes.
Danny Jones. Say Danny Dimes. Say Danny Dimes. You can
absolutely
say it.
Absolutely not. I'll call maybe loose change. Not Danny Dimes. Loose change. Hey, when he plays well, we win games. But now he might not play this week, so I wouldn't play him. I would sit him against the Seahawks and let him get healthy. He just couldn't finish that game. And Colt McCoy. But listen. Great show as always. Love talking with Eric and Nas and Sirius and company. We'll be back next week to talk our ish. I think we'll probably do a full review of the NBA season. My UConn Huskies about to do some work tomorrow. back in the Big East. We coming for the Hoyas. Holla at your boy. Villain is out. Villain.
Listen, first off, UConn don't look good. Second off, Patrick Ewing got the Hoyas looking so bad. I think all my coaches from every team need to be fired except Rocco Baldelli. Rocco Baldelli is the only manager that I think needs to. Thing else, Patrick Ewing, man, shoot, everybody, get rid of every coach. Is like they doing some bug stuff. He lost to Patrick Ewing lost to the Navy yesterday at home. Listen, period. Don't get me started.
No, you can't fire a legend, man. He's a legend, man. He's a legend.
To send him to the Knicks, send him to the Garden, and let him run that show down there, man. Sports City Chef, you already know what to do. You already know what time it is. He thinks it's funny. They think they could pick on me. Now I think he could throw Brett Favre out there and talk about pray for his downfall. On that note, tell